Hi guys, it's Mel from Cooking with Cousin Mel. What I'm making for you tonight or today is it's a crock pot recipe and it's a slow cooker Amish beef and noodles. So Jerry and I are gonna do one in September to get everybody for October. So we're just getting a little preview of something. So how this one goes is you're supposed to have 2.5 pounds of chuck roast. Um, there was none here. And so what I end up doing is I have a steak and I'm going to sear it on both sides. I put salt and pepper in my frying pan and I'm going to put a little bit of oil, um, olive oil in my pan. And I'm going to sear the steak on one side and then sear it on the other. And then I'm going to take it and chop it all up as I don't have a chuck roast. If you had the chuck roast, you'd be doing the same thing. You'd be searing it probably 4 minutes on one side, 4 minutes on the other side, and then putting in your slow cooker. Where I don't have that, and if you can't get any, then just use steak and cut it up before you put it in the slow cooker because it isn't chuck roast. It's just steak and it's not as thick. So I am going to fry up my steak, probably 3 minutes on each side, sear each side. I'm going to take it over to my cutting board and then I'm going to chop it up into strips. So I will get that done and then I'll come back and show you what my product looks like. So here you can see my steak is still steaming. So I am just going to cut it. Like I said, I'm just cutting it in strips. I'll probably have to cut some of them in half, like they're too long. But it was just to see it's like sear the meat. So I'm just going to cut this up in strips. If you were using the chuck roast, like I said, all you're doing it is searing it on both sides, and then you're just going to put it into the slow cooker, the crock pot. So I'm just going to try and get this all cut up for you, and I'll be right back and we'll go from there. So here it is, all cut. I tried to get it as thin as possible, but I should have, it's hard to do once you kind of sear it on both sides because it gets that nice and juicy. I mean, that's probably how my son would like it, but not me. So I got my crock pot on low. So I'm going to add my beef here. If I can turn you a little bit so you can see my crock pot. I'm going to put my meat in. See here. Okay, I got a packet of onion soup mix. I'm going to add that. Gooey on my hands. My dog thinks he's going to get something. That something's going to fall for him. So I'm going to take my onion soup mix, 1 cup. I'm going to use a packet of its gravy mix. I think it's Oju. It's a dripping mix. Now, if you can't find that, just get a beef gravy or just a regular gravy. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to use 1.5 cups of consommé soup. If you don't have soup, you can also use beef broth. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of that. I will put the ingredients in the description for you. I'm also going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup. There's nothing here for you, Mr. Dakota. So I added that. I need a spatula. Where's it at? Yeah, I can't wait for all the stuff we're making for October. We've already planned it all out and what we were making, and it's going to be awesome, guys. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this around so it's all mixed together. Now, I'm actually adding 2 cans. But like I said, I'm going to put the original recipe in because it only calls for 1 can of whole mushrooms. But I'm putting 2 cans in because, well, we like mushrooms. So I will set around in a minute. So I'm going to do my mushrooms here. I'm going to drain them off. So there's 1 can of mushrooms. See, some of the mushrooms are right big and other times they're right small. So that's why I went with the 2 mushrooms, because you never know what you're going to get. I know it sounds full of mushrooms, but here's the first can I put in. Look at the size of them. And then this was the second can I put in. Like they're 2 different. That's why I went with 2 cans. So I'm just going to mix this around a little bit more to make sure it's all done. Now we're going to leave this on low for 6 hours. And then we got some other stuff to do to it. So it's going to be on for 6, like I said, it'll be on for 6 hours. And then we'll come back and add a couple more things that we have to do. And also I'm doing it the Amish way that they have it. And I'm going to put it on mashed potatoes. If you don't want to put it on mashed potatoes and you want to put it on, say, like linguine or angel hair pasta, something like that, you're more than welcome to do it. I am just going to do it the Amish way, and I'm going to do it on mashed potatoes. So I will be back in 6 hours. Hi, guys. Our 6 hours has done for our pot. So I'm going to take the lid off it. It smells fantastic. So now I'm going to take 1 cup of noodles, medium, if you can get them. If you can't, don't worry about it. Get whatever you can find. So I'm going to put a cup in here. Oh, not me. So I got a cup of noodles. I'm going to put that in. I have some that fell out here. So I'm just going to add a little extra. Okay. Now I have my crock pot turned to high, and I'm just gonna put this around. And then I'm gonna leave it on high for an hour. And then we're gonna add some cream. If you don't have cream, you can use milk. Whole milk would be best, but whatever you have on hand. So I'll put that back on and we'll let it go for an hour on high. And then we'll add our cream and just leave it kind of warm up a little bit. I might even actually after a half hour. So my noodles have to be on high for an hour. So after 30 minutes, I think I'll add the cream then. And that way there, everything gets nice and hot. So I will be back in just a little bit. And my beautiful people, I am now going to add 1 cup of heavy cream to my pot. And like I said, if you get it, I hope you get a chance to go over to my cousin's channel, Jerry Ellen with Cooking with Neighbors, and check her out. See what she did for a Crockpot recipe. And there's my beautiful son that I hear. Where's you off to, my love?
I'm just,
So you're gonna just heat this up when you get home?
yeah. Oh, bowling.
What?
Bowling.
What?
Oh, and bowling.
Oh, you're going bowling.
Yeah.
Well, get a strike. You can smell good. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here for another half hour. I have my potatoes on, getting them ready. And like I said, this should be done in probably about another half hour. My noodles are nice and soft, but I will show you the end product when I do put it on my potatoes. I usually don't, but goodness. And like I said, Jerry's doing one as well. So this is kind of just a little, like I said, a little teaser before we actually start our Crocktober. So I'm excited about it. I'm probably going to be posting twice a week because there's quite a few that I want to do and I want to get them done. And then it's getting into Christmas stuff. And oh, we also have a video going up for Halloween in October. So besides Crockpot, we have a sort of look for Halloween video going up. And then it'll be getting to our Christmas bacon. So it's gonna be fun. So I'll be back in just a bit, guys. Okay, guys, so I got my mashed potatoes ready. Down so you can see. And I'm just taking off the lid. Just swirl around. And there it is with the mushrooms and the gravy, noodles. I hope you get to give it a try. If you do, please let me know. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.